Unlike the White Rabbit, I am not late, but I am way behind where I want to be.
We're back in my garage again because I got a whole bunch of work to do.
But with the boys' school and Allie's health and the van and all the birthday stuff going on, I have fallen way behind with our antique store booth, and I have created some signs in here which are meant to be in that booth, along with a whole bunch of signs I didn't make, and tons of other stuff that's supposed to go down there also.
Some of which is being dripped into the shop by Allie, who is down there as we speak. The rest of which I've been waiting on.
Because the booth is still sadly lacking one thing, a sign of its own. Back of the booth is still just a plain black wall, and it was meant to have a banner that has this design on it that we used at Midsummer Scream, or the Christmas Midsummer Scream, whatever it's called, on the back wall. But it turns out the banner's actually wider than the booth is. The booth is only 7 feet wide, and so I figured, you know what, okay, we need some kind of sign. I can hand paint it, but that might take me too long down there. I know people will want to get chatty with me if I'm there that long, and I'll start making friends and get distracted, and then I'll never finish it. So I was like, okay, what else could I possibly do? And then it hit me. Duh, I've been carving all these wooden signs. Why not create a wooden sign for the booth? And that is what I'm supposed to do on this giant brand new workbench, which my brother built me for my birthday, by the way. Nice, isn't it? That's what I'm supposed to do today. I've got this very large, old, very vintage, antique board over here that I rescued and salvaged from ripping apart the old shelves in the garage that have been here since the 1950s. A little bit stained, a little bit gross, but I've penciled on the word Randomland. With so many other events and time pressing, that just means it's time to get to work. Got the router all ready to go. Dust mask, because I don't know where that board has been, and now I got something in my eye, which reminds me I should probably put the face shield on, and then we'll be ready to party. This feels weird. I feel like I'm in E.T. or something. Never follow the way I do things, by the way, because I eyeball everything and do everything pretty much completely wrong. Rarely do I even follow basic safety standards that I should be following, so I'm not an expert in any way. I got work to do. Oh, man, not gonna lie, this stuff takes a lot longer than you would think it does. Well, that or I'm just really not good at it. One or the other. It takes me a long time. 1 hour down, the whole Randomland left to go. Ugh, I got a mouthful of sawdust. With my mask on, that's when I realized something was wrong with that one. So we're just going nude. Oh my gosh. I think, I don't want to get too excited. I think I'm at least done with the carving part. It's definitely not perfect, but since I'm very short on time, it'll have to do. I'm trying to do all the cleanup with some chisels. Not as much as I should or could do, but, you know, enough to get by. And then we'll slap some paint on this thing and hopefully be able to finish it and get it down today. Okay. Look at that. Actually, it looks better painted. I did very lightly on purpose. I was mostly going to try and dry brush it, but it went on actually a little thicker than I even wanted it to. And then next up, this guy is going to get stained. I really like this honey color, but I think I need espresso. Wait, nope, that's not it. Somewhere back here. Ah, there it is. All right, here we go. Okay, let that dry for a little bit. Hopefully I can make it to the antique store in time today. Look at this one over here. I stained this one also. This is a replica of the old entrance sign over the old Knott's Berry Farm gold mine. And speaking of gold and Knott's Berry Farm, I also worked for a while on this one here, a replica of the sign that used to hang above the giant pit area where people used to pan for gold at Knott's Berry Farm. It's probably
3/4 the size of the original, but tried to match up all the lettering perfectly, tried to stain it and age it appropriately, accurately to how the original sign was. I'm going to put this one in the antique store also. I don't think I'm going to have this one for sale at first. I kind of want to keep this one around for a while. I'm going to hang it up, not for sale for a while. Maybe I'll take offers on it or something like that, because I just like looking at it. Look at that! And I've got a couple of small signs that are going to go in there for sale. This one I'm still working on, so it's not going to make it in there today. A couple of Route 66 signs, both made out of 60-year-old wood at least. Actually, I think 65-year-old wood. So next year they'll be 66 years old. And I wanted to get back to making some old Western signs, so I created this gunsmith sign right here. Got a little gun on there. Little Colton Winchester over at the gunsmith. And I got this thing enormous Ghost Town sign here, all carved and painted and ready to go now with little hangers on the top. Set that down. And then last but not least, with this batch, is something that's actually pretty precious to me, and I don't really want to sell it so much, but I do want it to go to its next home, so I guess it'll have to be sold for something. I really don't know what it's worth. This is a piece of the old Ella's Frontier trading post, as it was in 1984 when it closed down, Joseph City, Arizona. You guys might remember the last time I was out there filming, I found this little piece of wood that looked pretty darn ancient. It's been in the trading post for years and years. Who knows if it was there since 1927, perhaps? So I painted it up very lightly, because I didn't really want to cover too much of the surface of the wood, and that is an original piece with the original old Western dirt on it. Unstained, just very, I was thinking about putting a clear coat on it just to protect it from moisture, you know. But I think that decision is best left to its next owner. It's definitely more humid where I live than it is in Arizona, so it probably should be coated with something if it's going to stay here. But you never know who the next person is going to be. They may end up taking it back out to the desert. They may end up moving to Florida and needing something a little more robust to protect it. You never know. But anyway, there's a hardy batch. I really don't think that sign is going to be dry in time to get it into the booth today. If that's the case, then we'll have to pick this little adventure up in a while. I was just thinking, thank goodness we've got the van, because these might make it in the trunk. But this huge thing would never fit in the Mustang. Oh yeah, that takes up a hefty chunk of space. Still plenty of room in that van, though. Sorry, Viewliner. I didn't have time to finish you yet. Guess I'll try and grab some of the rest, at least for now. Alright, come on, you heffalump. Yeah! Man, I'll tell you what, it's too bad that sign took so many hours to make, because I'd love nothing more than just driving around in the van all day and filming it. I am really loving having a van again. This is my 5th van ever, if you count the first car I ever had, which was the Ford Aerostar. If you don't count that, then this is van number 4 for me. It's big van number 4, but I didn't realize how much of a part of me driving a van really was. Some people like driving Ferraris around and fast sports cars. For me, I just enjoy driving around big, old, crazy sounding vans. I don't love filling it up with gas, you know, who does, but I do love driving it around. Boy, I really need to get a better mask for doing that wood stuff. I'm gonna be coughing for 2 days now. Anyway, we get off the freeway, head over to the Orange Circle. Look at that, the movie theater church says, be a rainbow in somebody's cloud. That's a nice thought, right? Right. I think just due to the limited amount of time, I'm not gonna put all the signs in here today. I'm gonna wait until at least next week, until Monday. So that's April 4th or so. That's probably when I'll put in the actual signs themselves. But I've got to get this backdrop sign up for sure. And maybe I'll have time to put 1 or 2 in, then I'll come back Monday. Alright, party time. Alright, so the antique station. Now remember, to get to the new booth, you take your first right, and then your first left. And then, behold, you'll arrive at your destination where, you see, I need to throw up something back there. The banner didn't fit, so this big, smelly, not dry wooden sign it is. Hopefully it doesn't look horrible. I have no idea what's behind this wall. I did it! Oh, I accomplished exactly one thing today. It wasn't a wasted day. Look at all the work Allie has done. We still have so much more stuff to put in here. So many more new paper treasures. I have a lot more big advertising signs to bring down. And of course, the t-shirts need to be replenished. These are the very last ever of these
Monster Fright shirts. But there is some pretty sweet stuff in here. A little bit of Route 66 stuff, some Monster, some old Disney stuff.
The power of the Cobra.
Oh, I forgot about these trees. I got these trees up by the Smith River up in Northern California. They are redwood trees from basically Endor. Carved into the shape of redwood trees. And then there's this hand-painted skull. I painted that years ago. We got some patches, magnets, all kinds of weird band stuff that I found. Oh yeah, including some vinyl. I forgot about the vinyl. Got the drum from the old Disneyland Indian Village. Howlin' Mad Murdoch. Allie's selling all my best stuff. Uh-oh.
They just announced over the loudspeaker that they're closing in 15 minutes.
As I suspected, no time to put the other signs in here yet. It's gonna have to wait until next week. Actually, probably Tuesday next week. So if you come Wednesday or after, there should be some wood signs in here, some more merch, but t-shirts, the brand new t-shirts, and a special surprise. You're gonna have to wait until around tax day. So around April 15th, there should be some sweet stuff in here. Well, I'm annoyed that I'm out of time, but at least I've got one of the signs up in here. It's still a little greasy and wet. I couldn't even wipe off all the wood stain off the paint. But it'll do for now. I'll come touch it up later. All right, well, it's a start. And like I say, by April 15th, it should be a whole lot better. But in the meantime, look, honey, Von Dutch. All right, time to get back in the van, go home, and sulk over the fact that I couldn't get more stuff in here in time. Well, at least it gives me a chance to make even more new signs. Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot my hot tamales.
Hot tamales. Oh,
that's a spicy one. Dude, I really like having a van again. I know I said that already. I'm sorry. It's like I'm back in the old days, except I don't have a van full of people in the band whose breath I have to smell, you know? True story. Monkey, my bass player, used to come up and he'd always like stick his head right here when he'd be listening to a conversation or talking, you know, while I'm driving overnight or something like that. And I could always feel him before he spoke or anything. I could feel his head. He had some kind of wicked monkey chi or something. I could feel it like a force field, like, what is that? True story, he still tells people to this day about how I could always feel his chi. He'd test me, you know, he'd stick like a hand or a finger up closer and closer towards my head, and I was like, Monkey, stop! So far, this is really the only thing that's wrong with the van, is the gauges will die. And as you can see, you just give it the old Arthur Fonzarelli tap of love, and it just comes right back to life. We took it from Calico, I think in the last episode, we took it up to San Bernardino Mountains into the Big Bear area. We drove all around Lake Arrowhead, Rim of the World, all the way down into Rancho Cucamonga, went to Bass Pro Shops, and then cruised Route 66 towards home. Nary a problem did we have. The van made it just fine. So far, so good. And if this thing does not break down, I think we're gonna have some pretty good times in it coming up here in about a month or so. Now you hear when I accelerate, you hear that ticking. I think that's the belt tensioner. I think the belt's a little loose. Not a car guy, but I've just had enough vans now. Like I said, this is, I think, van number 5, where I'm like, ooh, I think this van is a serpentine belt. Might just get that replaced ahead of time. You know, just a sort of preventative replacement. Then, of course, there's all the wiring, because I don't have a stereo guy. I don't really know any stereo guys, except my friend Adrian up in the Bay Area. It's kind of far away, but I gotta rewire all that stuff. When they put that weird box in here, you know, the weird DVD player thing, they unattached the speakers up here in the front. The old VCR and TV aren't wired into the sound anymore. The old cassette player in the back, it's like, I kind of want to get one of those radios where you push the button and it goes, and the screen comes up, so it actually work with the iPhone and stuff. This thing's all right for what it is, but it's weird, and it just looks like a weird TV. Oh yeah, and then some of the speakers are kind of blown in the back, probably because, you know, there's no speakers up front connected, so they're probably turning up the music super loud in the back to hear it in the front. It's just weird, especially if you need to hear directions. Oh, green light. I'm gonna stop talking now and enjoy a little cruise home here. I'll meet back up with you there. Vanarchy, Randomland, driving around like we're back in the band. Vanaheim, Vanarchy, driving around just you and me. We're having fun in a van. Oh yeah, you and me, that's a plan. I pity the fool who's never driven a van. I love having a van, dude. Having a van is the best. Just ask B.A. Baracus. He'll tell everyone they need a van, sucker. Oh, snap, I forgot about this. Somebody gave us an old playground horse. I forget all the backstory at the moment because Allie was the one that had to meet them because I was busy during it. It's like an old metal playground rocking horse. Anybody know where I can get a giant metal spring? Look at that old Shadowfax looking handsome. Oh, this is so cool. I gotta come up with some kind of stand to put it on. Well, anyway, like I said, utter failure as far as getting those signs finally actually into the booth, but at least I have more time now to make new wooden signs, although WonderCon is this weekend and there's Oceanic Arts events every week and day, I think, in the month of April, leading up to the big auction itself, finalized on the 23rd, 24th, something like that. I think they added more tickets. Peekaboogallery.com. You won't want to miss it. It's pretty fantastic. I went to the sort of opening ceremonies of that the other night. It was really cool. Bob and Leroy were honored by the city of Whittier, but I'll tell you more about that when we actually go to Oceanic Arts, which is coming up very soon. At the moment, for me, I apparently cannot escape destiny because I thought I absconded to the desert to get away for my birthday, have some fun in the van, and that would be the end of it, but no, Allie loves me too much, and she was like, I'm going to invite some friends over for you to wish you a happy birthday, so they're all coming over here and eat all my chips and salsa. So, oh well, I gotta hug a bunch of friends, and that means that for now, I think I've done all that I can do. Kind of a weird day, a weird adventure, a weird non-adventure adventure. But I still appreciate your company and hope to see you in the next coming weeks. I'll post on Instagram. My Instagram, by the way, is @JustinScarred, 2 R's. Scarred! Not scared. If I was trying to be scared, I would have picked Justin Frightened. No, it's Scarred, because the band was the Scarred back in the day. Justin Scarred on Instagram. I'll post on there when we get the new t-shirts in, and we're going to have some stickers to give away, and some stuff like that. The first however many people to get these giant, you'll see, these gargantuan stickers. And I'll try to find a day where either myself, or Allie, or Fig Tyler, or somebody can be down there, and we can hang out and say hello to you guys if you come down. Sometime this month in between all the crazy Oceanic Arts stuff. Alright, I forget anything else? Probably a million things. But for now, we've done all we can do, so we've done our duty. We can go home and sleep well.